Now, just to get over with the Ryan Coogler incident that happened in Atlanta, that's your neck of the woods. So, what was your first thoughts about it, and have you seen the video?
I did see the video.
And
Um,
what was your first thoughts?
my first thought was, why is the cop pulling out his gun?
Mm-hmm.
Like, like the lady who was on the phone sounded so calm. It was like there was no way I would have been convinced as a police officer, even from the dispatcher, because the dispatcher was even questioning whether or not he was robbing the bank or not. They were very calm and cool and collective.
Mm-hmm.
She even when she went to, I mean, she was the most calmest black woman I ever heard that thought she was being robbed by somebody at the bank.
Mm.
And but the thing that I really hated was the fact that first of all, when they walked up there, the one guy that was behind them, he pulled his gun out.
He pulled his Glock out. Yes.
I'm like, why they keep on pulling their guns out? This man didn't have any weapons in his hand. He was calm, cool, and collective. Nobody around there was on the floor or acting like they were being robbed.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go
Well,
again. Them cops is scared. That's why they always do that. They trying to scare you because they scared.
well, I understand where you're coming from, but what I would say is that the cops they just had bad information. So from the bank standpoint, I think that they totally fucked up. They totally overreacted, and this man he wrote them a handwritten note saying that he wants $12,000, and he would rather them count it in a separate room because he wanted to be discreet. He put in his bank card, put his PIN number, and he gave them his ID. So from my standpoint, what was the misstep? Why
Um,
was there a need for them to call the police?
if that would have been a white man and that black teller would have did that, she probably wouldn't have called the police on him. I think she was scared. I think she was scared another black man.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and kind of like go over the video real quick.
Sir, do me a favor, man. Come this way. Put your hand behind your back. Put your hand behind your back. You got it.
First of all, fair use, fair use. This is a video with Ryan Coogler in the bank. Fair use, fair use. See, notice how he allowed them to arrest him. He didn't try to put up a big fight. So
Right. He didn't resist.
right, you can't hold court in front of a cop trying to get yourself out of a situation. Like if the cops got you in the crosshairs, then unfortunately you got to bite the bullet and like allow them to take you in, so that way you can kind of like via process of elimination, you got to help them rule you out. So I mean that's just the best way I kind of explain it. But yeah, he allowed them to arrest him, and then once that confusion was kind of settled, then he was kind of venting outside, in which I will show later.
Got it. Is there any reason y'all doing this, bro? Give me 1 second. Hold on.
Good job, man.
He while he was being handcuffed, he asked him, "Is there a reason why y'all doing this?" Because he's very like shocked and likely scared and just flabbergasted. So, but
And
and,
another thing I noticed about him too,
mm-hmm,
and it has to be, some of this, of course, has to do with his experience directing and working around actors. But he he like you said, he didn't resist. He was always polite. He was asking the right questions.
right, right,
A lot of us don't know the right to ask the right questions and how to de-escalate your stress level. I call this adrenaline.
right, right.
Most people who get all riled up and upset and everything else, they're on an adrenaline rush, and it's like a drug. Hell, it's like being on crack. And until that drug dissipates in your system, it can escalate. And
Now,
then guess what happens? Then the cops start getting their adrenaline revved up.
mm-hmm,
Now you got two adrenaline junkies fighting each other, but then you got one with the gun, a badge, and handcuffs, pepper spray, ass baton, and then you just got your little ass waiting to get a beating.
Now, this is what I would say, right? Now, every son in America, black son, they when they gonna end up getting that talk from their parents, I believe that this should be like a video to like show them like, hey, this is how you act to the police, even though that you didn't do anything wrong. I think this video kind of highlights like the protocols or how to handle yourself when you didn't do anything wrong, and when the cops try to arrest you over something that you know that you didn't do, but you got
Right.
to be very calm and like allow them to arrest you, so that way you could be eliminated from the possibility of them looking for like a potential suspect. So you got to help them eliminate you. But if you're gonna give them a reason by throwing a tantrum and being all animated, then something bad will come out of that situation. So
Right. And you know, I look at it this way. I mean, people get wrongfully arrested every day.
yes,
You know,
yes.
how
Now,
you deal with it is how you get how you either end up in prison or how you get acquitted.
mm-hmm,
You
yeah,
know, you can be right but still be wrong.
mm-hmm,
And he was right, and then he was right.
right,
Like he
exactly,
didn't do anything wrong.
right.
Good job, guys.
And some woman told the officer, "Good job." That's it. That they were hauling him out. So he's walking out. He's not really saying much. He
What's the
just,
problem? I need everybody's
he just
name.
kind of venting on
I need
that.
everybody's name. You know what I'm saying? And I need to find out who made that call in there.
Okay.
You know what I
It came
mean?
from the bank.
Yeah.
Came from the
I need
bank.
to find out who made the
That's
call.
fine. That's fine. You have all right to do so.
Yeah, I got.
But
Can I speak to a manager in an office somewhere? Have you ever considered doing
I'm
something
gonna
like that?
consider it now that y'all
Okay.
fucking drew guns on me.
Yeah.
I was trying to take money out. But up to this point, at every Bank of America I ever gone to in my entire fucking life, just never happened.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
So y'all explaining y'all perspective, right?
Yeah.
Y'all the ones with guns and vests. You know what I'm saying? What's my perspective? What's my perspective?
I know you
At the bank, she never said it was a fucking problem, bro.
Yeah.
I said, hey, is that gonna be okay with you? She said, yeah. I put my own card in, put my own pin in. She asked to see my ID. I gave it to her.
Yeah.
And she goes in the back, and I'm waiting for the and then the people keep coming out, hey, they taking care of you. They taking care of you. Everything's
Yeah, because prior to even seeing this video, I was thinking like, okay, so you wrote them a note and you asked for $12,000. My whole question was, did you initially give them your ID? Because that would have been like the most probable way of like thinking that, okay, he may try to rob the bank because he didn't produce an ID. But obviously, since he kind of explained this in the situation, he produced the ID. He put in his bank card. He put in his PIN number. So my whole thing is, what was the mix up from the bank standpoint? You know?
So I had an inmate once who got caught robbing a bank. He told me the story. This guy took a suitcase and just put a note in it and would give the suitcase to the teller. And when they opened the suitcase, it'd have a note in there saying, I have a bomb. I have a bomb vest. So give me the money, put the money in in the suitcase, or I'm gonna blow us all up. Now, I don't know about, but I'm saying, but that right there is a threat. You know what I'm saying? But when someone's sitting there telling you, here's my ID, how many bank robbers show the ID when they robbing a bank?
No, none.
And how
Obviously
many
none.
bank robbers put an ATM or a debit card or whatever, into an apparatus?
I mean, this to me it was just basic common sense. I mean, from the teller standpoint, I'm just wondering what the hell were you thinking? And for this to be Ryan Coogler, I mean, I understand that he's not a national household name, but at least in Atlanta, Ryan Coogler should be a household name. I mean, he's the director of Black Panther, which black people in droves went to see that movie. They filmed it in Tyler Perry Studios.
They did, but I'm not gonna lie to you. When the first time I heard his name again, I didn't know who he was.
I mean, I've known
I
of
mean,
him since he was making the Creed movies, because he directed the first two Creed movies.
okay,
So yeah,
I like his movies too.
Yeah. I mean, he's a
Well,
very talented director. I mean, he's very up and coming. I mean, he's becoming a household name. But I would think that being that this happened at Atlanta and black women, they love Michael B. Jordan. He's been on magazine covers with Michael B. Jordan, and for the simple fact
well, but
that
okay, but he was wearing a mask.
you know, right, but he showed his ID, Ryan Coogler, on his
But
ID.
apparently that sister didn't know who he was because she called the police on him after he did. Look,
Oh,
look.
right.
Now, so let me just get this out here.
Let me go ahead and get rid of this real quick because that was pretty much it. Because he was just kind of like ranting. So I mean, this is textbook of how you kind of get yourself out of these situations without like allowing the police to kind of like keep the drop on you. So basically, once they kind of calm things down, he was able to kind of state his piece, venting or whatever, and that's the perfect textbook of how you should handle an interaction if you didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Well. You know what? The only thing that I could see that he did wrong was I think he should have verbalized what he said that was on the piece of paper. Like, or
He want to be
you know,
discreet.
okay, or look, I don't know how much bread he got, but if I had as much bread as he got, I think I would call up to the bank ahead of time and say, "Hey, look, I'm finna come up here,
Yeah,
and I need
because
$12,000."
this is not the first time he done this. He said during his rant he been to many Bank of Americas and he does the same routine.
Right, but he went to that particular one, like like for all right for me.
How do you know that that's the first time he been to that particular branch?
Look, I don't, but all I know is he's a black man in America right now.
I mean, I don't want to use that excuse. I mean, it was just a big
It's not.
misunderstanding.
Look,
I'm glad
look,
nothing tragic
it's,
happened, but
it's
the
not an
bank fucked
excuse.
up. But I don't want to put any onus on him as far as what he did wrong. I think he did everything right. It was the bank that fucked up.
Okay, it was a teller that fucked up,
Right. It
but
was the seller that fucked up. And as far as the police coming there, I wouldn't even fault the police because they was called there for a possible robbery of a bank. So I understand why the cops did what they did. But as far as the cops and Ryan Coogler, they pretty much kind of performed up to a standard in which nothing bad happened. So the cops, they went up to drawing guns and didn't go any further than that. Ryan Coogler, as he was getting arrested, he didn't
right.
talk much. Then once he went out, once the cops were, cuffs were off, he was able to kind of state his piece. Nothing happened. So from those two entities, it kind of played out perfectly. But from a bank standpoint, this is going to give them like a lot of bad press, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, um, if I go in there and tell somebody I want to get out $12,000 and I'm a multimillionaire, you call the police on me, yeah, I'd be mad too. Um, and like I said, I'm not trying to say that the only reason why he got called on is because he was black. I'm not saying that. But all I'm saying is these days, you have to be careful of what you do. A matter of fact, there's been other, there's been rappers here. There's been other famous people who have gone into banks trying to cash checks, and they called the police on them thinking it was a fake check because it was such a large amount of money. So, I mean, I'm telling you, look, Atlanta is Atlanta's scary, man.
That's the trap capital, man.
Man, I'm telling you, look, I mean, and then and then another funny part, when you go on movie sets now and you be looking at all that money is fake money. All these kids think all that money is real. Man, look, they don't walk around with wads of money like that. All that's some fake ass shit. Like I said, you know, my man was taking out $12,000. Hell, Future probably takes out 50,000 just to go down to the strip club.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I mean, Floyd Money Mayweather, he be having like $1 million in suitcases.
now he got the real money, but I'm talking about all these videos and all these movies down here that they be doing. All that money is fake, and some stupid people around here try to cash on some of that money every now and then too.
Oh wow.
You end up they get locked up for it.
Yeah.
They think it's funny until they put the cuffs on you. But I'm glad that he did not get hurt. I'm glad that he wasn't physically assaulted by the police. Got a problem with the pulling the guns out though. Like the
Yeah,
intimidation factor.
that
Look,
deals right. That deals with
that
the
made that
whole
intimidation factor for that cool, calm, collected brother. Yeah, he was doing a little cussing, he was pissed,
right.
just
That
like
was
I
after the
would.
fact. That was after the fact. But yeah, as far as the whole training, as far as police training, as far as going into a situation, when it's the right time, when it's the appropriate time to like pull out your gun, when you can physically, like visually see that the suspect, potential suspect, don't have any type of weapons on him that they can see. So, but yeah, it's all about the training. But as I stated before, whenever black sons start to get that talk, I believe this video will be like a perfect case study as far as what you do when you interact with the police if they suspect that you did something wrong, even though that you know in your mind that you know 100% fact that you didn't do anything wrong. This is how
Right.
you get out alive instead of just holding court in front of the cop and then things escalate and then it'll be a tragic situation. So,
Okay.
but yeah, man. Hey, good stuff, man. Appreciate you coming out and having this conversation about Ryan Coogler and the other content that we did. So yeah, man. So hopefully we'll get back at this sometime next week and talk about something else.
Yeah, man. Hey, the last thing I'm gonna say, look, don't be taking no notes to no bank no more. You better start opening your mouth. You just say, look, I have a large amount of money I want to withdraw. Nah, because then
Yeah,
you know,
remember he wanted to be
I got
discreet.
hey, look,
Discreet.
I gotta add this to this. And a lot of people probably don't even know. There are people that hang around banks to see who's gonna walk out there with a big wad of money that will rob you.
Mm.
They'll follow you for blocks. It's people in the bank that sit around there and just wait to see if someone's got a big old large transaction coming out. So he definitely was being careful about the discreetness. And I'm gonna joke one thing about him. His handwriting was terrible though. Maybe she didn't read the note right because his handwriting was terrible.
Yeah, it kind of was bad. If I was giving any criticism, it'd be his handwriting.
All right, man.
All right,
Hey,
man. I'll
he's
talk
a
to you later.
millionaire. I wish I could write for that for the kind
Right.
of money he got.
Right. All right, man. You take it easy, man.
All right, cuz.
All right. See ya. Later.
Peace.